Hey everyone, and welcome to another review from YallaMotor. And today we have a Hyundai with us. Hyundai. Usually when you think Hyundai, you think about another alternative for a reliable, cheap car you can use every day. But that is changing. To begin with, now Hyundai associates with the word Genesis, which is a luxury brand under the group. But today we have an N car with us, the Veloster N. What is the N brand from Hyundai? So basically back in 2012, Hyundai started participating in the WRC, World Rally Championship, with the i20. And from there, the N brand was born under the leadership of three people: Albert Berman from BMW Performance, Klaus Koster, who came from AMG, and then joined by Thomas Chimera, who was heading the business development of the N brand. And he is an ex-BMW engineer as well. What a team to give us a brand which takes the performance from that WRC car and puts it on everyday cars like the Veloster we have with us today for you to enjoy such a car on the road. So let's start, yalla, and I'll tell you all about it. Let's begin with the N badge. So why did they choose the letter N? Usually with these high performance cars, you get letters like R, S for sport, racing, but they chose N for three different reasons. Reason number one, the district called Namyang in South Korea, where they're developing all of these N branded cars. Secondly, the infamous Nürburgring, where Hyundai is actually testing all of their N branded cars as well. And the third, which is a silly reason, they say that the N letter looks like a sort of a, two curved. And if you notice, the color scheme of the N brand is that silver, red, and black. And this performance blue color that you get exclusively on the N branded cars from Hyundai, which is fabulous on the Veloster that we have with us today. I really love the color. It really makes the car stand out, and it makes all of the additional accents that match the brand language of the N brand really stand out on the car. So let's begin with the design. Some of the details I like are the front headlights, especially the day running lights, where you have them like segmented into small little crystals inside the light. You have these additional lines in red and black on the front bumper, and also of course the N logo on the huge front grille of the car. Now, some of the vents on the car, some of them are fake, some of them are real, but at least some of the active vents are really useful. You have the side active vent that takes the air flowing from in front of the car to cool the brakes and give it a little bit more performance as well. Then you have the side skirt with the red accent as well. It comes in black with the N logo here on the side, and these little vents in the back are actual active vents, taking the airflow from the side and pushing it towards the back wheels as well. Here in the back, the car comes fitted with a huge rear wing, which has this little fake carbon fiber on the side. Ignore that, but at least it looks fabulous, especially with the middle brake lights that you can see this triangle right here. And you have the N branding, of course, in the back. On the bottom of the back, you still have the red line on this huge diffuser in the back. Unfortunately, it's a bit too plasticky for me, but I think it does the job aerodynamically. And the most important thing, we get these huge exhaust vents right here, which sound fabulous. Let me give you a taste. Turn on the car, put it in N mode, and not bad at all for such a little car. It's one of the best stock exhausts you can get on a hot hatch these days. And you get 19-inch alloys with this beautiful design, and you get these two color schemes, the black and aluminium as well. Again, the exterior of the car is very, very simple. You take a Veloster, and if you're gonna buy a regular Veloster, whatever you want to do with that one, they give it to you from the company, so you don't bother. It looks fabulous, and it does tell you that this is a performance car from the first look. On the inside, my first gripe with the interior, that it's all black. Like, I really wished at least they entered some of those red lines we have in the exterior inside. Just like any other Veloster, don't expect a lot of quality in the material. You're gonna get a lot of, light plastic on the inside. You still get this performance blue accents on the gear knob. It's here on your seat belt, just to give it that bit of special feel. And definitely the best thing about the interior are the seats. They're racing bucket seats covered with Alcantara, and they have this sorts of like metal look, and of course the N branding behind you on the middle of the seat right there. Very AMG BMW performance, like, makes sense, right? The team behind it is from there. The steering wheel is very sporty as well. It's very tiny. It feels really great. It's covered in leather, stitched as well with the performance blue stitching. And the drive mode selectors get the same color scheme as well. And we get two pedal shifters. Thank God, at least these are made out of aluminum and they're not plastic. Other than that, in the interior, you get your, creature comforts. You get a screen, an infotainment screen that gives you Bluetooth, navigation, everything you need. But the most important part of the screen is called the N mode. And the best thing I like about the N mode, other than it shows you about the performance of the car, like the G-force, oil temperature, turbo boost, your torque, that you can actually customize your own drive mode in a very simple and very creative way. In other cars, usually the custom mode is just a set of menus where you go through them one by one. Here, at a glance, they have everything on like sorts of a web, where from a glance you can tell where's your transmission at, engine, suspension, electronic LSD, and the exhaust. So you can actually cruise with everything in comfort, but still enjoy the amazing sounds that this car makes from the exhaust when you turn that active valve on. Now, usually when you describe a car, you describe it as a coupe, a two-door, hatchback, or it could be a four-door hatchback. But the Veloster stands on its own segment. It's actually a three-door car. So rather than going from this side and fighting with this, seat belt to go into this tight space behind the driver, all you have to do is move around and you get a third door on the passenger side with a cleverly hidden handle right here on the top, just to give it that extra coupe look even from this side. So you pull the handle and you can easily just jump in. Now, as you expect from such a little car, the space here is a bit tight. I have sorts of enough space in front of me. I can hardly push my feet in front of the seat in front of me, and there's like only maybe 2 fingers of space on top of my head. All right, the engine. So the Veloster N gets a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine producing 275 horsepower and 352 Newton meters of torque. It gets matched to an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, and that means 0 to 100 in about 5.5 seconds. The Veloster N is not about the numbers. It's all about the excitement. So while you have 3 different drive modes you can control with the button on the left side of the steering wheel, you get normal, sport, eco, you can forget about all of these, because on the right hand side you get this button with a checkered flag on it that switches between 2 different modes. Number 1, your own custom mode that I showed you how conveniently you can change all the settings of it on the screen. The other mode is N mode, which switches everything on in the car to high performance. So speaking about engine, transmission, suspension, electronic LSD, and that beautiful noise you get from the exhaust. And here the car becomes alive. On a corner like this, you really appreciate you're in a beautiful, whoa, bucket seat that holds you in place while you're doing that. Definitely being a front wheel drive car, you do get a lot of torque steer, but the electronic limited slip differential helps in that, and you get a little bit of understeer as well, but that means nothing to the amount of fun you get driving this car. The car for me is so much fun to drive. I'm loving this N branding from Hyundai, and I can't wait to actually test the other cars they have, like the Elantra and the Kuna, under the N brand. Now we get to the point that I'm struggling to tell you this. So when it comes to the price, the car is being sold here in the UAE from the dealer at 146,000 dirhams. What do you think about this price? Would you actually go for this hot hatch, which is amazing to drive? Again, it's an amazing experience. Or would you go to other competitors in the hot hatch segment? I'm not gonna name them here, but you tell me in the comments below, which hot hatch here in the UAE would you choose within this price range? Guys, as usual, it was a pleasure in presenting the first N car for me to you. And don't forget, as usual, follow me on Instagram, follow the YallaMotor page on Instagram as well, and subscribe to our channel to view everything about the cars we review. And see you in the next one.